Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Thank you to my good colleague, Monica Dela Cruz, for joining me in this effort, and my colleagues on the other side of the aisle who have co-sponsored our legislation, H.R. 1329. Today, we conclude Women's History Month. It's been a month-long celebration of the remarkable achievements and contributions of American women throughout our nation's history. Whether it's the suffragists who fought for the right to vote, the riveters who stepped in while men fought during World War II, the 10,000 women known as Code Girls who broke German and Japanese codes for the U.S. Army and Navy during World War II, the hidden figures of NASA who helped launch John Glenn into space, or the Black Angels from my district, from Staten Island, New York, who treated sick tuberculosis patients when no one else wanted to, and they helped find the cure for this disease. American women have been instrumental in shaping our nation's progress and success. 50 years ago, we think about how much has happened in those 5 decades. 50 years ago, women were still battling for so many rights, not just equal pay, but they could not get a credit card without a male cosigner, protections against pregnancy discrimination and sexual harassment. They could not serve on juries, and they did not have the ability to join military academies. Women have made so much progress, those before us. We celebrate them, we thank them, and now we pave the way forward. Last week, 37 female Republican members of the U.S. House of Representatives and the Senate joined President Donald Trump at the White House to launch the GOP Women's Caucus. I want to remind my colleagues from the Republican side that it was the Republican Party who helped champion women's rights and protections. It was Republican Susan B. Anthony who led the suffrage movement. It was a Republican senator who sponsored the 19th Amendment to give women the right to vote. It was a Republican Congress that approved it, and it was a majority of Republican states that ratified it. 4 years prior, it was Republican Jeanette Rankin who made history in 1916 as the first woman elected to the U.S. House of Representatives. In 1972, it was President Richard Nixon who signed Title IX into law, eliminating sex discrimination in education and in athletics, opening doors for female athletes to receive scholarships. In 1981, Sandra Day O'Connor, also a Republican, made history as the first woman confirmed to the U.S. Supreme Court, paving the way for greater female representation in our legal system. And most recently, President Trump authorized the Smithsonian American Women's History Museum in 2020, and in his first few days in his second term, signed an executive order to protect women in sports. Today, we are fighting to get that museum that was authorized in 2020 its rightful place on the National Mall. And I want to thank my colleagues from both sides of the aisle, nearly 100 members of this institution, who have co-sponsored H.R. 1329 so we can transfer this land and get this museum built to honor the women both who are currently known and unknown, who have contributed so much and who have built our nation. This is one of our new caucus's priorities, and we must get it done in this term. Last week, something exciting happened at the White House. President Trump, through his 100% support behind building the Smithsonian Women's History Museum on the National Mall. And so now we must seize this opportunity, working together across this political spectrum, and get the job done. I look forward to working with all of you. I want to thank all the women and the men who have been so supportive of this project, and I look forward to seeing all of you at the groundbreaking.